having us here to dedicate a trophy deer that was poached in Union County. It was discussed with Director Rosenthal that Union County is a fine county for support and prosecution, and it's an outstanding county for resources as well, so we appreciate all the help we get through all the different channels, agencies, Sheriff's Department, and the State Attorney's Office. We're going to donate a deer that was poached. It was taken unlawfully during firearm deer season in 2013. It was by some non-resident hunters. It's a trophy class deer. It had a lot of interest in the county, and I think it'll kind of represent what we have in our county as far as resources go. Director Wayne Rosenthal, DNR director, came down and for the dedication.
Yeah, I want to support all these, our conservation officers. Deer like this, and all the deer, fish, or everything, they're assets and resources for the state. And when something like this is taken and poached, it's a shame for everybody, because, and like I said, the conservation officers do a great job of safety for the public and for help preserve these for law-abiding, legitimate hunters and fishermen out there also. So this is, to me, it's just a symbol of the resources here, plus what our dedication to the wildlife population is. So, we got to thank Officer Vasicek for everything he does. So he does a great job. I think we need to recognize the folks that helped.
Whitetails Unlimited donated the mount. Wes Burris, Whitetails Unlimited, he did the mounting on behalf of the Whitetails Unlimited organization, conservation organization that supports law enforcement and the preservation of resources. And thank you to Tyler Edmonds and his team for prosecuting violators of game laws. Without their support, our efforts often go unnoticed, so we appreciate that with Mr. Edmonds. And
I think this is probably a deer that a lot of people have seen a lot, and so it's big interest, I'm sure, locally. And when somebody else takes it illegally, then it's a shame for everybody. So that's big thing is we got these guys available to help us, and but people are going to do things illegally. They're going to do it regardless of how many officers we have out there. So it helps if the public is vigilant and passes along information to them also. So we want to thank you.
Questions?
Can you give us some details about the deer and the rack, the weight?
This deer was in the 180-inch class, which is Boone and Crockett class deer. Boone and Crockett's a scoring, record book scoring. It was in the 180-inch class, probably 250-pound deer. I think we determined it was about 6.5 years old. A true trophy,
14 scoreable points.
Right. It's the type of deer that, most people dream of, and when they get taken unlawfully, it affects everybody. Somebody might have been saving this for their child or their grandson or their nephew, whoever. So when they get taken unlawfully, it kind of affects everybody.
Now, where is its gene pool?
This is the west side of Union County. This case generated a lot of interest. There was over $12,000 in fines incurred for this case. Approximately, I believe, 75 months of hunting privilege revocation based on the prosecution of this case. So the subjects who took part in taking this and the other 2 deer that were seized in this case are revoked for a combined total of 75 months, and that's virtually nationwide. I believe it's 48 states. There's a violators compact, so they can hunt or be with hunters in 48 states in the nation.
Is it true that the persons were not from Illinois that were arrested for this?
That's correct. They were non-residents. They're actually from the state of Georgia.
Okay. Can you tell me what initially led to the arrest? Was it just some anonymous information from the public, or how did that come about?
A lot of times we get information that comes from various sources that we sift through to see if you know, if it's a legitimate complaint or if somebody just has a grudge match against somebody. I've heard several things about these hunters, and they were, you know, on my list to, you know, make sure they were complying with our laws. And in the winter of 2013, I got in on their camp and found a buck that was unlawfully harvested that was hidden at their camp. And so I hid out at that location for several hours till they came in. And when they came in, they had 2 additional bucks that were harvested unlawfully, and one being this deer right here. And it was taken with a high-powered rifle. It was untagged, and I believe there was 19 or 20 separate violations on this case. And I was also assisted by the U.S. Forest Service officer.
So that was the big reason. It was in Illinois, Union County, you can only use a shotgun slug, but a high-powered rifle was what was used, correct?
Correct. You can use a shotgun slug, a muzzleloading rifle, or a handgun in Illinois, but any centerfire rifles are unlawful to take deer with in Illinois.
Okay. And one more quick question. What did you say to yourself when you saw, have you ever seen a deer this big in all your years?
This rivals several deer that I've seized in my career. This is certainly one of the biggest ones, top 3, and it affects me. You know, this is one of the reasons I chose this career path, and you know, when I see these things taken unlawfully, you know, it does have an effect on me. It keeps me going. It fuels my fire to continue.
Could we get Tyler to go up there too? Because some of the things is the cooperation we get between the conservation
Most
officers
definitely.
and the state's attorney's offices, how we're able to take care of some of these problems.
Well, and I just want to say briefly, I want to thank the Conservation Police, thank Mr. Burris for their efforts on this, but our county is blessed with tremendous natural resources. It's an important part of our local economy. It's very important from a law enforcement perspective that we continue to focus on conservation violators to protect our resources in our county for those that do hunt lawfully. Hunting and fishing are a huge part of our economy, as I said, and the traditions here in Southern Illinois. I really want to thank the Conservation Police for their efforts on this. The efforts, particularly of Officer Vasicek in our county, are really something not a lot of people see, because he's obviously out in the muck and the mire and all kinds of corners of our county, and I appreciate those efforts. Our Sheriff's Office also has been a big partner with the Conservation Police. So again, I appreciate their efforts to protect our local economy and our local resources and to ensure that hunting and fishing are safe in our county for those that choose to engage in those pursuits. So I applaud you all for your efforts, and I thank you very much for this donation to the county.
I did have a question. I was wondering, what impact does poaching have on the wildlife around here?
Many of the people are looking for trophy class deer. This deer is 1 in 1,000, 1 in 5,000. One of the great allures to Illinois hunting is large buck deer. So people come from all over the country to hunt whitetail deer because it's one of the finest places in the world to hunt. And when you take these out of the pool, the draw of coming to Illinois, the chances of them seeing a deer like this diminish. So this is why people come to Illinois, and if they do it lawfully, that's great, that's what we support. If they don't do it unlawfully, then we're going to be addressing that.
I want to mention that, for those that don't know, Officer Vasicek is our Officer of the Year for the Conservation Police this last year. So you're well represented here, and he does a great job for everybody in the area. So we want to thank you. See you soon.
And as of on Whitetails Unlimited, our main goal is to preserve the tradition of whitetail hunting since its since it began. Whitetail hunting has always been a big attraction to Southern Illinois and Union County in particular, and our goal is to keep that tradition going. And we use a lot of our proceeds to fund different things around the county for whitetail hunting. We've donated stuff to Steve to help in this, particular to stop poaching. Our goal is to keep kids involved, and it's just the chapter itself is the Union County chapter. We put a lot into this, and we're more than glad to see deer like this taken in Union County, but we want to see it taken legally and for all the people in the county to enjoy. And this is a deer that just didn't need to be destroyed or taken care of. It needs to be displayed up and for people to see what we have in the county, and to show that if you do this in the county illegally, you will get caught. And it needs to be